Thank you, Elton. Thanks, Brian. I'm a big fan of yours as well. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's begin, as usual, with the teams. First, Derby County. In goal, of course, Peter Shilton. 2, Mel Sage. 3, Steve Cross. 4, Geraint Williams, back after injury. 5, Mark Wright, the captain. 6, Jason Kavanagh, just 19. 7, Gary Micklewhite. 8, Dean Saunders. 9, Mick Harford. 10, Trevor Hebberd. And 11, Nick Pickering. This is how they'll line up. Derby taking a few risks today. Williams, Micklewhite, Pickering, they're all carrying injuries. Well, now Tottenham, Eric Thorstvedt in goal. 2, Terry Fenwick. 3, Justin Edinburgh. 4, Steve Sedgley. 5, David Howells. 6, Nayim. 7, Paul Stewart. 8, Vinnie Samways. 9 is Paul Walsh. 10, Gary Lineker. And 11, Paul Allen. Spurs with Howells and Sedgley, normally midfield players in the central defensive positions today. The substitutes: Craig Ramage, Mark Patterson for Derby, Mitchell Thomas, Pat Van Den Hauwe for Tottenham. The referee is Mike Reid from Birmingham. So this match, played against a backdrop of financial problems for both clubs, gets underway with Spurs in their change strip of all yellow, immediately giving the ball away to Micklewhite. Harford in support, Geraint Williams, a useful looking ball, and a good early attack that was by the home side. Derby have not won in the league since the 1st of December against Sunderland, and are not quite as badly off as Brian Clough suggests. They're one place off the bottom. Walsh for Spurs. Free kick. Well, Walsh, who started the last 3 games, has been sub most of the time this season, no fewer than 18 occasions on the bench. Mark Wright with the interception. Won by Harford for Derby, and a first-time ball finding Saunders completely free on the Derby left. What a good tackle that was, though, by Howells. He's given it away. Williams. And a good bright start by Derby. Micklewhite again. Sage. Williams. Not the ball he intended, and Spurs look to counter-attack quickly. Lineker the target for that long through ball, but Mark Wright, the Derby skipper, with the clearance. Sage. Williams. And Wright again. A sloppy ball, straight to Walsh. Samways takes over, and now Nayim. Walsh back to Nayim, and another good tackle, this time by Hebberd. That looked like a foul, and well spotted by the referee, and indeed he's going to have a word with Steve Sedgley for the tackle. And Saunders picks himself up, no complaints, as Derby get the free kick. The youngster taking it, and the Spurs win the ball back now with Lineker. Forward by Howells, and that goes out for a throw into Derby, and an opportunity for me to introduce Trevor Francis. Trevor, a tense sort of atmosphere around the ground today, but I don't really think that's going to affect the game.
No, despite Derby's problems, you know, the second from bottom of the First Division, I was greatly encouraged by the welcome they received coming onto the field. They've got great local support at the baseball ground, and they certainly need it at this present moment.
Derby 6 games without a win, and they've lost 4 of their last 5. Howells beaten by Harford. Kept in by Thorstvedt. He's kept a clean sheet in his last 3 games in the Spurs goal. Cross. Saunders gets it back from Harford. Micklewhite. And Thorstvedt read the cross well. Spurs themselves are going through a dodgy patch at the moment. They've had only 1 win in their last 6 games, and that was in the FA Cup tie at Blackpool, and they've won just 1 of their last 8 league games, a 2-1 victory against Luton Town at White Hart Lane. Brian Clough wants to sample the atmosphere rather than our studio, and it looks as though the atmosphere is hotting up there by the presence of those policemen. Not quite sure what's going on out of our sight. I know Derby have been very anxious about the possibility of protests against Robert Maxwell as Lineker gets himself clear, but in an offside position. Robert Maxwell has written a 2-page article in today's official programme explaining his stance on all the speculation regarding the future of Derby County. There are still a lot of anti-Maxwell banners and feeling around the baseball ground. And there's one of them. Harford. Well, Saunders had vacated the space that Harford headed the ball into then. Things have calmed down a little on the terraces. Perhaps Brian Clough's had a word with them. Mark Wright, just in Edinburgh, finding Walsh, who was fouled surely by the youngster Jason Kavanagh. Only 19, made his debut just before Christmas and has now played 8 games in a row, several of them as a substitute. Nayim's kick. A wasted effort, really. Nayim himself back in the team after a 2-game suspension for his sending off against Luton.
Also back in the team, Alan, is Steve Sedgley, and he's got an important afternoon ahead of him because without the captain, Gary Mavett, he's obviously been detailed by Terry Venables to stop the threat of Dean Saunders.
Lineker trying to make life hard for Wright and Shilton, but failed to do so. This is cross for Derby. Harford. Hebberd stretched well. And the second ball was just cut out in time by Tottenham. Now Samways. Walsh. Back for Samways. Shilton anticipated the danger. Kick given against Harford. You say there's a tremendous atmosphere around the ground. Pickering turning the ball forward, brought down by Howells. Lineker calling for it from goalkeeper Thorstvedt. But intercepted by Sage. Stewart. Swept back by Sedgley. Paul Stewart playing in midfield these days. Samways was barged down from behind by Harford, and Williams also involved in the tackle in which he was the meat in the sandwich. Stewart, rather, the injured player. Harford accepting his guilt.
I must admit, I'm a little surprised to see Paul Stewart playing in the middle of the field for Tottenham. Obviously because of Paul Walsh pushing up front, but Terry Venables has got the option of reversing the two if necessary.
Wright's interception on Lineker. And a foul for all the crowd spotted it, and so did the referee. Cross will try to show how it should have been done. Now Williams. Now that was a deliberate obstruction in my book. The referee has not agreed with me. It seemed to me that David Howells deliberately got in the way of Pickering as he made that break down the left. Mr. Reid said play on. Certainly some physical challenges going on in the middle of the field. As Hebberd slides in on Fenwick. Lineker. Given away. Hebberd. And again, the referee has seen an infringement. This time it took place off the ball. And I think there's going to be a booking. Paul Stewart in trouble as the ball was played away. Did you see what happened there, Trevor?
Yes, it was a late tackle from Paul Stewart on Mick Harford, and the referee spotted it immediately, and he's taken the appropriate action.
And that appropriate action is a yellow card for Paul Stewart. Did well to spot that, Mr. Reid, because the ball had been played upfield. Cross with the free kick for Derby. Wright and Harford got in each other's way, but Harford still gets in the shot, and it wasn't a bad effort. And he only realised a shade quicker where the ball had dropped. That would have been real danger for Tottenham.
I think, Alan, the referee had already blown for an infringement, so if it had have gone in, obviously it would have been a big disappointment to Mick Harford. But it's certainly a determined start from Derby, and it's very important that playing in this game at home that they get something from this match, because their position wasn't helped yesterday by Sunderland winning, of course, and QPR picking up a point against Manchester United.
Nayim. And Wright shepherds it back to Shilton. Now 41, Peter Shilton. 24 years in professional football, and a big dinner in his honour tonight in London. He's flying down by helicopter to make sure he's there on time as Saunders tries to make a timely interception in the other penalty area from Shilton's massive kick on. Lineker took it well. Samways and Stewart combining in the middle. Fenwick gives it away. Pickering. Williams. Saunders. Looked a promising break for Derby, but the ball given away to Sedgley. Now Samways. Walsh. This is Pickering. Saunders has made a marvellous run in the inside left position, but it was very well read by Sedgley. I think you can gauge some of the feeling by the banners in that corner of the ground. Free kick has gone Tottenham's way. Fenwick will take it back in the side after breaking his leg at Manchester United over a year ago. Walsh's header. Wright was there to intercept. Samways. Nayim, Samways again. 3 Derby players converge upon him. Pickering. One back by Nayim. It's fast and furious in the middle of the field, and it really does need, I think, at the moment, Trevor, someone to get their foot on the ball and calm it down a bit.
Yes, it's what you'd expect, though, from Derby County, because, as I mentioned this now, it's so important that when you're playing at home and you're in relegation trouble, that you don't lose. And I think that, you know, they've made the sort of determined start. They're very, very competitive. And what would sell them, obviously, is an early goal.
Harford did well. Williams. Samways took it from him. Fenwick. Now Micklewhite for Derby. This is Sage. Hebberd. But again, the central defensive partnership of Howells and Sedgley looks sound for Tottenham. Allen. Lineker slipped at the vital moment.
I also feel that with the television cameras here and millions viewing on television, it certainly helps to motivate the players. I think it makes a manager's job that much easier when the cameras are here, because all players on the field today are totally motivated, trying to impress the viewers at home.
Whistle's gone for a free kick to Spurs. Straight onto Wright's head. Walsh. Micklewhite under pressure from just in Edinburgh. And Kavanagh helps it back. Pickering to Saunders. Hebberd. A wild sort of effort by Hebberd, who's only got one goal this season, and that was in the most remarkable match of the season here at the baseball ground, when Derby County were beaten 6-4 by Chelsea. Quarter of an hour gone, 0-0, and as yet no real goal-worthy effort by either side. Look at the way the ball held up in the wind then. Harford heading it back to Saunders, but just too far ahead of him. And the wind's obviously getting stronger, and as Thorstvedt found to his cost then. Edinburgh turning it forward. It's a real problem for Spurs to get any flow going. They win it back though with Walsh now. He could have caught Shilton out on the near post then. That was a lively effort by Walsh and alert goalkeeping by Shilton. Samways, Nayim, Walsh. Helped out by Stewart. Fenwick. Hebberd with the tackle. Spurs get the throw. Crosses header misdirected to Nayim. Allen on the right for Tottenham. And a useful ball, Lineker following it all the way into the Derby box. And rather unorthodox clearance by Mel Sage, but nonetheless it worked. Harford fouling Stewart then. Those two seem to be hell-bent on a few physical clashes. Pickering. And now Sage for Derby. That's a dangerous ball, and he's given it straight to Walsh. And they're a little bit lucky to get away with that one, Derby. Here's Micklewhite. Williams. Nayim for Spurs. Lineker. Good ball from Walsh to Fenwick. Samways. Walsh again, lively as ever, and he's beaten both the defenders, but the cross was a bit disappointing. Peter Shilton, of course, with that remarkable career record, and in addition to all those games in senior football, a world record 125 international caps. Stewart lying injured in the middle of the field, but now groggily gets to his feet again as Sage has the ball for Derby. And promptly gives it away. Scrappy sort of opening, in all honesty, Trevor.
Yes, you just mentioned there that Paul Stewart lying injured in the centre of the field. That was after another clash with Harford. I think that's the third or possibly fourth clash that the two of them have had in the opening few minutes here. It's something the referee will have to keep his eye on.
And here is Harford in possession. Samways. Fenwick. Forward by Howells. Wright gets the opportunity to come forward. Sage. Saunders. Oh, brilliant play by Saunders, but what a good recovery tackle by Sedgley. And again, a collision involving the same Tottenham man who seems to be involved in most of the damaging tackles. Has earned a rebuke for Trevor Hebberd, and treatment is going to be needed for Paul Stewart. Tough character, Stewart, and gives every bit as much as he gets. Played in every game this season, and was definitely caught then by Hebberd.
But he's wishing at this moment, Paul Stewart, that he was playing up front. All the knocks that he's taken already in this midfield battle. Just wondering if it's because of the fact that he's not really familiar with playing in this role, and once or twice he's been caught with late tackles that you know, he's not really accustomed to in the centre of the park.
Well, he's on his feet, and Spurs have given away possession again. Derby with the throw. Sage. Saunders beaten by Sedgley. Nayim took it down beautifully, and just couldn't reach the return ball from Stewart. Harford, Micklewhite, Sage, the ball, but Saunders never found it dropping where he wanted it. Wright finding Saunders, and won back by young Justin Edinburgh, held back by Howells. Well, I don't think there's any point in disguising the fact this has been a very disappointing opening to this match, with neither side really settling to play any attractive or dangerous attacking football as yet. Perhaps Lineker can change things. Edinburgh. That was a 50-50 ball, and again Stewart goes down under a tackle from Harford. And Spurs content to play the ball back just to keep possession.
Hartford's getting involved with a lot of midfield clashes with Stewart, but I think it would do better for Derby if he was to push forward more and support Dean Saunders. At this moment, Saunders has been rather isolated, and I feel that Derby would be better with Hartford up front with him.
Foul was given then by Lineker on Sage. Midway through the first half, and it's still 0-0, and not surprisingly, we haven't seen a decent effort on target from either team. Samways. Sedgley slowing it down again. And Spurs seem to be predetermined to just kill Derby's passion here. They certainly started, the home team, with a real fire in their bellies, and Spurs have just tried to keep possession and kill the tempo of the game in the last 10 minutes. There's further evidence as Howells turns it 30-40 yards back to Thorstvedt. Walsh, Lineker. Allen. Samways. Lineker has found space in the penalty area and gets the ball back to Samways. The cross was dangerous and Sage responded by heading it behind for a corner.
That was good play from Samways. He's got an important role today to play in place of Gascoigne. He's a very talented player, a player that was linked with Nottingham Forest during the season, so I'm sure his display this afternoon will interest Brian Clough.
First corner of the game with 25 minutes gone. Headed clear only as far as Samways. Nayim. Oh, that was very, very close. And one of the most dangerous players in this Tottenham side when it comes to goal scoring. Very nearly brought us the first goal of the game. David Howells has scored 4 goals this season, all of them away from home. And that flying header just into the side netting.
Yes, once again the move was started by Samways and he fed it to Nayim, who put a good early ball in, and Howells, as he likes to do, getting into a forward position, got in with a good header and caused Shilton 1 or 2 problems.
Kavanagh did well then. Now Sage. Harford holding off Sedgley. Micklewhite. Saunders couldn't quite keep it in. The linesman was only a pace behind him and was perfectly positioned to see that go over the line. Unlucky though. Nayim brought down by Micklewhite. Sedgley's free kick. Walsh is the target, and Walsh has done well here. Well, the shot has only just bounced along the line and gone out for a goal kick. It almost went out for a throw-in on the opposite side of the field. Walsh did well initially, but the shot was way off target. Terry Venables in his 4th season at Tottenham, trying his best to keep the players' minds on the business of playing football with so much going on behind the scenes at White Hart Lane. And Arthur Cox would sympathise with that. He knows only too well how off-field problems can affect the team's on-field performances. Here's Harford. Pickering down the left, Saunders in the middle. Goal kick.
I think you saw there just how strong the wind is, because that wasn't a bad ball from Hartford, and I think on a normal day Pickering would have easily have caught that ball, but the wind took it out of play without any problems at all. But the actual surface is quite good. I think 1 or 2 playing surfaces yesterday caused players problems because of the frost, and it was difficult for their footing. But I think today, although it's a little bit heavy underneath, there's certainly no ice on the pitch.
Yes, it's a very soft surface, as the referee has given Tottenham the free kick for that foul on Lineker. Has been a disappointing start to the game so far, but in fairness, the strong wind isn't helping matters. Samways for Tottenham. Walsh, Samways again, trying to put Allen in. Only Lineker in the penalty area for the cross, but Lineker was the only man that they needed, and Tottenham have a goal, and the goal poacher has done it again in the 28th minute. Gary Lineker's 13th goal of the season, but more significantly, he'd only scored 1 in his last 8 games, and that was from the penalty spot. And he took advantage of that uncharacteristic slip by Peter Shilton and followed the ball home to make sure that the credit will all be his. Good play by Spurs. Samways finding Paul Allen, an intelligent cutback from the right. Shilton will be disappointed he didn't do better. And at the other end, danger as Hebberd tried the shot, but the referee had already blown the whistle, so that excitement in vain. Trevor.
Well, once again, Vinnie Samways, who's probably been the most influential player in this opening 30 minutes, played a big part in that goal. Played a good ball in behind the fullback Steve Cross for Paul Allen, And although the cross was a decent cross, Peter Shilton would have been a bit disappointed with that, because he's actually palmed it into the path of Gary Lineker. And after a second attempt, Gary doesn't make those sort of mistakes.
Spurs one in front here as Sage makes the interception. Fenwick finding Lineker. And a foul on the England captain. High cross has given Spurs the free kick. I think he's saying that that hurt.
Yes, I think it's referring to Mark Wright. I think it was Mark who nudged Gary in the back there, well, nudged the England captain, and probably the player who would like to be the England captain, Mark Wright.
Wright awaits the free kick. Taken by Nayim. Howells nearly got another important header in. Harford with an acrobatic clearance. Hebberd. That was a good interception by Nayim to win possession back for Tottenham. Well, after two successive goalless draws against Chelsea and Arsenal, Lineker's goal just the tonic Spurs needed. They've only won twice away from home this season, although two really tough grounds to go and get 3 points, I must say. Leeds United and Nottingham Forest. Howells playing it forward. Walsh chasing with Kavanagh, and the youngster did well and was being held by Walsh and gets the free kick. From the FA School of Excellence, young Kavanagh. And I think offside was the verdict at the other end, or it could have been a foul by Saunders. Anyway, Spurs get possession again with Samways, and now Edinburgh. Nayim, run back by Hebberd for Derby. Saunders. Lineker couldn't quite make contact. Saunders did well. This is Harford. Micklewhite. Looked for Hebberd on the far side. Well met by Fenwick. Williams turning it back in. And offside, the verdict against Mick Harford. As Williams turned the ball back in. Back in the side today, Williams, after missing 11 games with a knee injury. Important little figure in central midfield for Derby, and they've missed him. Hebberd. Pickering couldn't hold it. Allen lets it run for a Spurs throw. Samways. Fenwick. Walsh made a good run, and it was Sage with the clearing header. Pickering really hemmed into the corner by Allen. Gives it away to Samways. Now Walsh. Oh, great play by Walsh. Well, that's superb from Walsh. He couldn't quite get the cross in, but he really did well then. Lovely close control. Saunders and Harford combining at the other end for Derby. This is Saunders. The tackle was by Howells. Derby get the throw. Saunders, very much the man that Spurs fear. Williams dispossessed by Samways, who did well to ensure the ball didn't go out for a corner. Sage. Well, that ball from Nel Sage is not the type of ball that Mick Harford would be looking for.
Mick is undoubtedly one of the best headers of the ball in the First Division, and I feel that Derby have to try and get the two wide players further pushed forward. Pickering and Micklewhite are playing their rather withdrawn rows at the moment, and they need to get them forward into areas where they can get the service into Mick Harford.
Significant perhaps that both players are not fully fit, and Arthur Cox had to take a risk on their fitness just to play them at all. Here's Saunders wriggling away from his marker. Cross to Pickering. Turned forward by Hebberd, but much too far. And Kavanagh took no risks with Walsh right behind him. Walsh again. Cross was a little bit high with the challenge, and the referee has given an indirect free kick to Spurs. And that's the signal, as usual, for David Howells to move forward. Just at the bottom of the picture, number 5. The free kick in quickly. Harford takes it away from danger. Sedgley. Edinburgh. And Spurs ensuring once again they keep possession. Wright finding Micklewhite. Harford. Sage. Micklewhite. Williams and Saunders. Back to Micklewhite. It was a dangerous cross. Samways dealt with it with some difficulty, and Sage gets the shot in, but well wide of target. Well, the former Derby manager, the man who brought them so much glory in the 70s, Brian Clough, our guest today. And Brian, you must be a little bit disappointed with the way your old club has been playing so far in this game.
Alan, I'm not too disappointed, actually, because this is the way First Division is. It's frantic football out there, and I'm not too disappointed at all. Tottenham have got an all-important goal, and it's precious. Ronnie Moran said, if you don't put them in the onion bag, you don't win matches. But that's the way it goes. But it's a good match, and it's frantic. And it's still frantic now.
You're right.
And there's a long way to go, man. Don't prejudge anything.
The referee's given the free kick Derby's way. This is Cross. Saunders. Cross forward for Harford. And Sedgley didn't get the comfortable passage that he was looking for, but he does get the goal kick. Eight minutes of the first half remaining. Spurs lead Derby County by 1-0 here at the baseball ground. Hebberd. Williams. On for Saunders, but just too far ahead of him. Confirmation that Spurs in front with that Gary Lineker goal. Allen. Well, Spurs trying to hold on to this lead, Trevor, in the knowledge that the strong wind will be behind them in the second half, but sometimes it's not that much of an advantage, is it?
Well, sometimes it does work in reverse. I just feel at the moment that in midfield, Tottenham with the more talented duo of Nayim and Samways are controlling the midfield areas, and Derby aren't able to get the service needed for the two players up front, Saunders and Hartford.
And I think Brian's got another point.
Well, Alan, I'm not sure what point I've got, except to say to you that there's a long way to go in a football match. Derby are playing well. I've never seen Stewart, for example, put himself around so much, and I've never seen Harford put himself around so much for a long time. They're both centre forwards, and they're both playing in midfield, and they're doing tremendous jobs. Trevor used to flirt on the outside right position, and he used to flirt in the centre forward position. But if he looks at the 7 for Tottenham and he looks at the 9 for Derby, he will know what I mean.
5 minutes remaining in the first half then. Saunders in possession for Derby. Harford wasting the possession that Saunders had gained.
Mick Harford was playing with a number 9 shirt for Brian Clough's team. I know what he'd been saying to him, and that's get up front, I'll pay you to score goals.
Walsh doing well, and then brought down. Tottenham's free kick. Nayim quickly forward to Walsh, and he couldn't quite control it. He was being very tightly marked by young Kavanagh.
That's where Paul Walsh is at his most dangerous there, but I felt that he was trying to turn Kavanagh before he actually had the ball under control.
Hebberd's had a good one for Harford. This is Williams. Sage. Oh dear. Sage and Wright win the ball, but at the expense of a free kick. Foul on Lineker.
You just saw there now Sage putting the ball out for a throw-in, and one or two of the supporters voiced their disapproval, but I think you could also see that as he was about to strike the ball, he had a divot, and there's absolutely nothing a player can do when that happens.
Hebberd, Williams. Cross on the left. And still it won't run for Derby. Here's Allen for Tottenham. Walsh calling for a ball played quickly into the box. It goes back to Stewart. Fenwick takes over. And Derby do well. Pickering. Well, they did well to a point, but once again, the final ball not of sufficient quality to trouble the Spurs defence. Arthur Cox and his assistant, Roy McFarlane, simple, shouting the instructions, and they're very simple. Play it simple. Walsh. Samways was offside.
Certainly been impressed with Samways in this first half. He's had an outstanding 45 minutes, and he's really controlled the midfield and caused Derby plenty of problems. Saw him there making a good forward run. That's something that Derby have not been able to do from their midfield.
Micklewhite tries the quick cross instead, but Thorstvedt had read it. Allen. 2 minutes of the first half remaining. Good challenge by young Kavanagh. Hebberd, Micklewhite, Williams, on to Saunders. Sedgley right behind him. Saunders has lost him for a moment and then gives it away. Arrogantly flicked away by Stewart to Allen on the right. Great running here by Samways to get in behind Mark Wright. But Wright, the England defender, was right on his toes. Stewart. Walsh. Good turn by Walsh. Lineker. Well, there's no livelier player in the 6-yard box than Gary Lineker, and he was so quick to spot the possibilities then as Walsh pulled the ball back.
That was good play there, both from Paul Walsh and from Gary Lineker. Walsh likes it there, turns it away from Kavanagh, gets in a good early ball, and Lineker does brilliant there. Gets across the front of Mark Wright and directs a header, was just off target. Good play from Tottenham.
Cross for Derby. They're one down, remember, as he finds Saunders. Howell with the interception. It's Derby's throw. They haven't got much of the first half remaining. They'll have to get on with it. Saunders. He had to beat the referee as well then. Sage. Williams back to Sage. Micklewhite. Couldn't get in the cross. And Spurs end the first half with a 1-goal lead. Derby, with the wind at their backs, couldn't take full advantage of it. Gary Lineker's goal in the 27th minute giving Spurs a 1-goal advantage. We're going to have a news bulletin on the Gulf crisis, and you'll be back at the baseball ground shortly after that. But right now, we take a break.
The player who scored the goal. Right, let's concentrate now on what happened here in the first half of the baseball ground, and your overall impressions of the first 45 minutes, Brian.
Well, it was frantic for a start. Tottenham deserve, I think, to be in front. Lineker's goal was a goal, but I think Peter Shilton is now, like you and I, we've shot it.
Here's our first look at it.
Yes. I think Peter, a season ago, might have either grabbed it, got out a bit further, whatever. Young Lineker stuck it in the net. Although he's not so young, actually.
A player whose transfer to Spurs, of course, was partly financed by the Derby chairman, which I suppose is one reason why the natives are a little bit restless here.
I know. What a game, isn't it? But that's the way it goes. It's a striker's goal. He's in there, he's put it in with his knee, and he'll be delighted. I don't know anybody who smiles more on television than him when he's been interviewed. He's got a lovely smile. He's a charming young man, but he hasn't scored for weeks. He'll be smiling more now. Look at him. And he'll want to play more.
Gary Lineker then, Brian, the difference between the two sides at the halfway point, Spurs leading by 1-0. We'll hear more from Brian a little later as we rejoin Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Alan, we've got...
So Derby County get the second half underway, and it could be a critical 45 minutes for them. They really can't afford to lose another 3 points today in their league position, particularly with all the speculation surrounding the future of the club. And you get the feeling that there's a mood of bitterness on the terraces and in the stands here. And it's not fair on the players, of course, to transmit that mood to them. It's nothing to do with them. Here's Mark Wright, the captain.
No, it's certainly nothing to do with the players, and they can't use it as an excuse. They have to go out there and be committed, and if they can get a result from this, as you say, it's very, very important. Even a draw wouldn't be bad, but it's so important they don't lose this game.
And Spurs will do their utmost, as they did in stages in the first half, just to keep possession like that, even if it means going back. Thorstvedt now with the aid of the wind, but puts the ball straight onto Mark Wright's head. This is Pickering. Samways, good little ball. Allen gives it away. Wright hitting it forward, but over-hitting it. Good header by Walsh. Lineker nearly getting in, and Wright with an important clearance, completed by Sage at the expense of a corner. Howells has come forward again, so has Terry Fenwick, who was a prolific scorer in his Queen's Park Rangers days, used to regularly get a dozen or so a season, but hasn't scored for Tottenham for 16 months. Mark Wright with a firm header away. Straight to Samways, though. Allen playing it rather clumsily. Hebberd finding Saunders. He's got the pace to take on Justin Edinburgh. And the cross into no man's land as far as Derby were concerned. But Saunders surely is the glowing hope for Derby County for forcing their way back into this game. Fenwick's clearance. Wright underneath it. Cross did well to keep it in, but Harford couldn't direct it to Saunders. David Howells for Tottenham. And Wright's there again with another header. But Allen wins it back. Nayim finding Lineker. Back it goes to Nayim. Nayim to Allen here. Had he pulled the ball to the other side of the goal, Walsh was in a perfect position, and I think Paul Allen will be the first to admit that.
That was great play from Tottenham there. A good little ball from Lineker into Nayim. Saw the overlap there with Paul Allen, and really should have scored from there. That's a bad miss.
And Allen also knew that Walsh arguably was in a better position himself, though I guess when he did it again, he really had to try the shot. But either way, Tottenham could have been 2 in front, and that really would have piled problems upon problems for Derby County. Paul Allen, who's only got 1 goal this season against Aston Villa way back in September. Well, that's a let-off for Derby, and it could be a turning point in the game, perhaps. Williams, dispossessed by Samways, but gets it back. Derby get the throw. Samways wanted to take it, but it's Derby's throw. Saunders. Harford. Williams. Harford again. Stewart took it off him, but only prodded it to Saunders. That's a free kick. Stewart's angry at the decision. Certainly in a good position, very central indeed. Hebberd in the wall. Saunders or Pickering with the kick. It's Saunders who takes it straight into the wall, in fact. And Lineker felt the full force of it. They couldn't get it clear, and it comes to Micklewhite. And Spurs almost got themselves in an unholy mess then, when it seemed as though they cleared the initial danger. Lineker got the ball right in what might politely be described as his midriff from that powerful shot by Saunders. And on a cold day, that must have been horrible.
It was Vinnie Samways who put his teammates in trouble there by dribbling in the wrong area of the field. I'm all for players showing what they can do on the ball in the attacking half of the field, but when you're in the last 25 yards of the field, like Vinnie Samways was there, you don't dribble. You get the ball out and clear the danger as quickly as possible.
Brian Clough was talking about Gary Lineker smiling all the time. He's not smiling now, and I don't blame him. That would have hurt. Terry Venables and Dougie Livermore, manager and assistant, and Tottenham, just discussing the danger they almost got themselves into then. Dave Butler, the physio, has worked wonders and got Gary Lineker, Tottenham's first half goal scorer, back on his feet again. And at the end of all that, it's a throw into Derby. Howells clearing the cross. Lineker playing it forward to Allen. Walsh on the break. Tremendous run by Samways to get into the penalty area. Walsh had to hold it up, though. Nayim in support. And the tackle by Gary Micklewhite Then Spurs the throw. Another vocal demonstration against Robert Maxwell as the ball goes into that corner. And the cross goes behind for a goal kick. Well, Spurs themselves need the points today. They've lost their last 4 away games in the First Division. And in the process, conceded 10 goals and scored only 3. So Peter Shilton's part in Gary Lineker's first half goal will have given them some breathing space in this match. Here's Williams for Derby. Played forward by Justin Edinburgh, but he overhit that one. Irving Scholar of Tottenham, a man very much in the news on the City pages as well as the sports pages these days. And of course, Robert Maxwell has been involved in a lot of speculation concerning Tottenham as well, as Derby County, the club he's currently chairman of. Williams. On it goes to Hebberd. Nayim's tackle, but Hebberd has done well to keep possession here and find Micklewhite. And a useful cross. Saunders met it, didn't know where the ball was, but still got there ahead of anybody else. Unlucky then, Derby. Dean Saunders turned 360 degrees and just couldn't find the ball.
And Micklewhite turns back on his left foot, knocks a good early ball in. Dean Saunders gets in there early, but I think he's taken that ball on his shoulder. That's probably Derby's first chance of the game.
Nayim now for Tottenham. Strange sort of cross. And Derby quite grateful for the mistake. Sage leads the counter-attack. Micklewhite just kept it in. Hebberd. Micklewhite again. Useful cross. Harford is there. Well, it's the kind of cross that Nick Harford has been waiting the whole game to get. But it didn't really have the pace to give him a clear heading opportunity.
No, Micklewhite gave the ball plenty of air, but I think it held in the wind. But at least Derby now are starting to make 1 or 2 attacks, something they didn't do in the first half.
And Wright clears his lines at the other end. Stewart. Harford for Derby. Hebberd. Williams. Good ball. Saunders. Saunders has done well here. It was a tremendous effort. It's actually gone out for a throw-in, but nonetheless, it was very close to a goal.
It was a marvellous run by Dean Saunders, completely fooling the 2 Tottenham players. As it goes past them there, I don't know if you can see it, but Nick Pickering is looking for a little ball squared back.
It was just touched, I think, by Thorstvedt. Anyway, Derby have battled away to try and regain possession, but no avail. It's a goal kick. Well, Dean Saunders, who was so effective as a substitute for that Football League team in Naples in the week, has a very good record, as you can see, against Tottenham Hotspur. Scored against them home and away last season. Derby won both those matches by 2 goals to 1. Williams. Saunders. Cross. Oh dear. Nearly a costly error, and Gareth Williams got his teammate out of trouble then. George, as they know him here, the Welsh international.
That is the danger, of course, with Derby now trying to push forward, that they don't leave 1 or 2 gaps at the back, because Tottenham are such a good passing team that they can open any team up with their passing ability.
A complete misunderstanding there between Hebberd and Pickering. A little bit of frustration between the players, a little bit of anger from the terraces. None of it helps a team in Derby's position. Derby still a goal behind. Sage, Williams, Saunders. Well, this time he didn't get it right. But I think a club would have to break the bank if Derby were to make him available. There can't be a more valuable or sought-after scorer in the whole of football than Dean Saunders. Samways gives it away to Hebberd. Micklewhite. Sage turning it on to Harford. Saunders now. Pickering. Good tackle low by Sedgley. I must say, Trevor, Sedgley and Howells have done a marvellous job for Tottenham in the middle of defence today.
Yes, they're not two players that have always played their careers at the back. I actually prefer Howells in midfield. I think that, looking at the programme notes, he scored 4 goals this season, all away from home, and he's certainly a danger coming from midfield. And I think Sedgley, early in his career, played in midfield for Coventry, but they've certainly done well today at the back because it is a real threat playing against Dean Saunders, and they've done very well against him.
Spurs have the throw. Fenwick, Samways. Fenwick again. Clever ball for Walsh, who held off the challenge and just about keeps Spurs in possession. This is Allen. And cool play by young Kavanagh. I'm quite impressed with him. Saunders. Oh, it's a great ooh and ah from the crowd as Howells turned it back. They thought that Hebberd might get hit in between the defender and the goalkeeper, but he didn't.
That's the main difference in this opening period in the second half, that Derby are now starting to try and push their midfield players forward. A couple of minutes ago you saw Nick Pickering making a forward run, and there you saw Trevor Hebberd trying to get on the end of a ball. That's what they've got to do if they're trying to get back into this game.
Walsh has run the ball out of play. It's Derby's throw. Derby have failed to score in 3 of their last 5 games, and at the start of this season they made the worst start they've made to a campaign in 21 years. They actually went 9 matches without a win. Here's Lineker finding Edinburgh. On to Samways again. It's good football this by Spurs, and Lineker's in the middle here, and Allen with the header, and Lineker again dived to what looked an impossible ball to reach, but reached it. This time Derby survived. Micklewhite. Good ball for Saunders. Tried to find Hebberd, but the little 1-2 that he intended didn't come off. But Derby have done a lot better at the start of the second half. 15 minutes gone now. So an hour of the game played, and Tottenham still 1 goal to the good. Fenwick, Lineker, Allen. Howells finding Edinburgh, the youngster bought from Southend United in the summer. Long ball looking for Walsh, and Lineker again stealing in behind defenders. His anticipation, such an important part of his game. Here's Saunders. Micklewhite. That's not really the way Derby wanted to go. Foul by Harford. burst of slow hand clapping greets another Tottenham move, which went back from the halfway line to Thorstvedt in goal. And Sage, with his second attempted clearance, gets a lucky deflection. Derby have the throw. Hebberd. Sage playing it forward. Saunders takes it on the chest and was pushed in the back as he did so by Howells. Free kick. Young Jason Kavanagh will take it. Easy for Thorstvedt. A very deep kick by the Norwegian international has got Derby backpedaling again. Here's Lineker. Tried to thread it through then to Walsh. Despite that little spell of Derby pressure, Spurs doing quite well in keeping possession again at the moment. Stewart forward. Lineker's onside here. And Gary Lineker's sheer persistence at least forced Wright to make the tackle, but he hasn't earned the corner. It's a goal kick. Harford. Williams. This is Sage on to Micklewhite. Oh dear, a little horrible bobble just as he tried to control the ball. And Spurs back in possession with Stewart. Fenwick. Allen. It's good play. Nayim on the left. Stewart now for Spurs. Samways came to Tottenham's rescue then. He's played well as deputy for Paul Gascoigne. And Spurs keep possession. Stewart. Good ball as well. Allen. It's a very good move this by Tottenham. And still Allen shaping up for the cross. Geraint Williams dispossessed by Allen again. Well, it all seems to centre around Paul Allen, that move.
I think we saw there the importance of passing the ball well. Tottenham have got some good technical players, and they're certainly passing the ball better than Derby. Not only is it frustrating that they're Derby players, but it's also frustrating the Derby supporters.
Here's Hebberd though for Derby, trying to get them back on level terms. And they've got a throw from Howell's clearance. Pickering back to cross. Well, the frustration is growing on the field and in the stands and terraces amongst the Derby faithful. Incidentally, the attendance just over 17,000 here today, slightly higher than the seasonal average at Derby. Saunders in possession. Now Sage. Micklewhite. Sage finding Saunders. Good little turn again by Saunders, but dispossessed this time. Only as far as Geraint Williams though. Good play by the Welshman. And the other Welshman, Saunders, nearly returned it to him. Suddenly Spurs look dangerous on the counter-attack with Allen. Lineker. Oh, Walsh was inches away from contact. And here Micklewhite in a race for possession, which the Derby man wins, but at the expense of a throw. Nayim. Allen did well to keep it in. Lineker. Oh, that could have been an embarrassing moment for Wright as he intercepted Lineker's shot and turned it just the right side of goal, if you'll pardon the pun, as far as he and Derby were concerned. But it's a corner. Kick deep, but Wright the highest to climb, and it was a great clearance, dropping straight for Saunders, who takes on the Spurs defence single-handed for the moment anyway. Support now arriving. Pickering, cross. Williams, Micklewhite. They've got a lot of players forward here, Derby. Sage. Harford beaten by Stewart, and that was a good clearance by the Tottenham man. But still, Derby have possession. Cross turning it back in again, and Thorstvedt took it off the head of Dean Saunders. And the first time throw spells danger for Derby. It's 3 against 3. Allen in possession. Lineker unmarked, left edge of the area, and he finds him. Allen, Walsh. Good save by Shilton. And from almost scoring at one end, Derby nearly conceded a goal at the other end. Shilton this time was magnificent.
That was good play once again from Tottenham. Gary Lineker plays the ball to Samways, a good one-touch layoff, and Walsh has the opportunity to put Tottenham 2 ahead, but a good save there from Peter Shilton.
Corner's gone in short to Allen. And he fell over. Hebberd takes it from him. It's a tight position for him, and he did well to win the throw for Derby off Samways. Harford. Hebberd still penned in here, Derby. And Hebberd again won the throw, but they just can't get out of this corner. Harford there again to help. And Hebberd. Williams. And that was a poor ball. Lineker's interception. It's certainly a lot livelier in the second half than the first 45 minutes. Coming up to 70 minutes gone. And Spurs still a goal in front. Gary Lineker, the scorer.
Sorry, Alan. After an opening spell in the start of the second half, when Derby were throwing men forward, they've now gone back to the way they were in the first half, just leaving Saunders and Harford in semi-advanced areas, because even they are coming back into midfield. They're not pushing enough players forward.
Pickering trying to get in behind Fenwick here, and has done so, but Sedgley was the extra defender. And it's Spurs' throw. Fenwick to Allen. Well, Derby have got the throw this time. Williams. Saunders. The tackle. Allen.
I would imagine at this point that Arthur Cox is considering trying something different. He's got, what, 20 minutes left?
Just a little under.
And he's got Craig Ramage on the bench, who could give them a bit of variety coming from midfield, and it's certainly a possibility to try and change one or two things, because at the moment Derby don't look as if they're going to get back into this game.
Here's Harford. Williams. Young Edinburgh anticipated that well. Derby's throw. Saunders did well. And he's there again with Harford. That's a foul.
Certainly good work from Dean Saunders, but he's probably, what, 40 yards there from goal, and how much sooner he did his dangerous work near to the penalty box. He's being pushed too far away from the box, and that's going to suit Tottenham Hotspur.
Throw aimed at Mark Wright. Saunders waiting for the ball to drop, and it never reached him. But back in it comes from Williams, offside the decision though. I think it was Micklewhite who'd strayed furthest forward. Gary Micklewhite, one of several Derby players playing today, carrying injuries. Derby, remember, with only one win in their last 9 games, and that was in the ZDS against Coventry. They really do need something here, and they need it quickly. Here's Nayim. Lineker. The header reaches Allen. Forward to Lineker again. Goal kick. Harford. Won back by Samways. And then Derby regain possession with Williams, trying to pit Saunders through in the middle. Good interception by Sedgley, who then finds Samways. Now Walsh. Allen. Stewart. Samways. Fenwick. Walsh. Neat football from Spurs. This is Allen. He goes down. The referee had a look at it. He was not impressed. And the referee was right. Fenwick. Cross did well to keep it in then and find Pickering on to Hebberd, and now Saunders. Sage. The space opened up for him, and that'll be a corner. First of this half, certainly, and I think it might be Derby's first of the game. And the substitution is going to be made by Tottenham. Nayim going off, and Mitchell Thomas taking his place. Mitchell Thomas had been playing regularly recently, but lost his place today. Quarter of an hour to go. Spurs 1-0 in front. Wright and Harford both got up for that, and cleverly Allen just stepped over the ball, knowing it would be a goal kick. Lineker, Allen, Walsh offside. So under a quarter of an hour for Derby County to try and get back into this match. Walsh for Spurs. Williams took it from him. But Allen in possession. Lineker on the far post. Ooh, it was taken away from him by Sage's timely header. That was good defending. Had he let that travel on, Lineker sure would have scored. Good work by Allen, and Lineker poised till Sage intercepted.
quality of crosses that Tottenham have been providing for their strikers has been much better than Derby throughout. I'm sure that Mick Harford's looking at those type of crosses. Those are the balls that he needs.
Here's Allen, who's provided so many of them, finding Stewart. Back out to Walsh. It's another corner. And again it goes short to Allen. Shilton was in the right place as Fenwick headed the ball forward. Stewart climbing on Harford, but the referee allows play to go on, and now Walsh. Samways is ahead of him. Good football from Wright. Now Micklewhite. Hebberd has got himself space in the centre of the park. Saunders. For once he took a bit too long then, but Wright with a thunderous challenge on Allen. And in there again for the rebound. Lineker now for Spurs. Good first time ball on for Allen. Back to Lineker. Mitchell-Thomas arriving far edge of the penalty area. Walsh was in there as well. Jason Kavanagh got it clear. And Lineker is gifted possession again. Good strong tackle by Lineker, but he couldn't keep the ball. Micklewhite. Given away to Edinburgh. And nice play by the young left-back. But then possession once again being thrown away. Kavanagh. Saunders. Micklewhite. Looking for Harford. Fenwick gets it clear. Stewart lifting it away from danger. Sage has done well. Harford! And it just seemed to fall where Tottenham wanted it to. It's been one of those sort of days, I guess, for Derby.
Well, that's a better looking cross there for Mick Harford, and Terry Fenwick gets off and just does enough to put Mick Harford off. He just couldn't get enough power to direct it at goal.
Well, there is no faulting Derby for the effort they put in, particularly in this second half. Against the wind, ironically, they played a lot better than they did in the first. And they're battling to push Tottenham all the way here. But Spurs still with a vital goal. And here's the man who scored it, Gary Lineker. Fouled by Cross. Ten minutes to go. Derby, I think, are about to make a substitution themselves, but quickly Allen from the free kick. Oh, it's gone over everybody, and Mitchell-Thomas just couldn't get his foot round for what would have been an easy shot on goal. Offside, meantime, as the ball came back in. And the ball just wouldn't sit right then for Mitchell-Thomas to get a shot in. Micklewhite is the player who's come off. And it's Patterson who has taken his place. Harford beaten by Stewart. Lineker wins it back for Spurs. Allen. Samways. Good challenge by Pickering. Williams to Hebberd. Sage. Hebberd again. Saunders. Hebberd once more in the thick of things, but offside. Harford in the centre. Time running out now, Trevor.
Yes, it's certainly the last throw of the dice, I would have thought, from Arthur Cox. Just trying to bring a little bit more variety into their play, but you just get the feeling that every time Tottenham go forward, they are a threat, and I'm just waiting for them to finish off their good work. They've threatened to finish the game off on many occasions, and it would be no surprise to me if they got their second goal.
7 minutes remaining. Spurs leading Derby County by 1-0 here. Walsh. And he was fouled from behind.
That's where Paul Walsh is at his best, when he feels defenders coming nice and tight on him, he just tries to roll them.
Spurs taking their time with the free kick. Finally, Samways lifts it in, and a little back header, and Shilton just got there. And the immediate throw out, getting Spurs backpedaling, and Derby win the throw. Sage. Harford looking for Hebberd. Hebberd! Oh! That was the golden opportunity for Derby to equalise, and it's been wasted.
Well, as the ball breaks here for Hebberd, there's another Derby player in an offside position, but the linesman keeps the flag down, allows Hebberd to go on, and that's a bad finish. He could have certainly equalised there for Derby. But the linesman, seeing that I think it was Cross who wasn't interfering with play, he kept his flag down.
And Hebberd misdirects his header at the other end, straight to Lineker. Good interception by Patterson, the substitute. Mitchell-Thomas, the Spurs substitute, winning it back. Sage forward to Harford. Patterson. Cross. Hebberd. Harford again. Williams. Sage. Williams again. The space opens up. But the shot was well off target from a player who hasn't found the net for a couple of seasons now. Trevor, not a particularly easy choice for you for man of the match. You've got to give it some thought. Don't tell us just yet.
Who said it's not an easy choice?
You've obviously made your mind up.
Most definitely.
Keep us in suspense a little longer.
Just a slight tactical change here that Derby have made. They've pushed Cross into a more advanced role, and Pickering has now gone into a left-back area.
Harford. Sage. Patterson. Good challenge by Samways. We're into the last 5 minutes. The cross aimed at Cross. Saunders. Offside this time. So I'm sure Derby will look back on this second half here and think that the Hebberd miss would be a critical one, as Spurs are about to make their second substitution. Pat van den Hauwe coming on for Gary Lineker, who took a knock, I think, when he was involved in a tackle a few minutes ago. The boos for Pat van den Hauwe, who has not been forgotten for his part in an incident which led to Ted McMinn, the Derby forward, being injured a long while ago. Gary Lineker's handed the captain's armband on as well. Van den Hauwe taking his place on the field, and Fenwick taking his place as captain. 4 minutes to go. Sage, as Derby mount a desperate counter-attack now, looking for their equalising goal. Williams beats Thomas. Pickering. Harford. Kavanagh. Sage. Williams turning it forward. Spurs with all 11 players in their own half of the field. Harford for Derby. Hebberd. Pickering. Harford's there again. Saunders beaten by Stewart though. Walsh. He held it up beautifully there, Walsh. Tries to find Van den Hauwe. But Derby have it back again. And the crowd urging them to go forward once more with cross. Pickering. Turn back for Saunders. And still it's Derby in possession. A real rearguard action now by Tottenham to hold on to their one-goal lead. Sage. Saunders. 2 minutes to go here. Saunders again. The cross by Sage. Fenwick got it clear of Harford, who's kept it in play. And a good ball too for Hebberd. Oh dear, Trevor Hebberd, the villain of the piece as far as the Derby fans are concerned after his earlier miss. Well, Trevor, let's wait no longer. Who's your nomination for man of the match?
Well, most definitely the man of the match for me is the player who's come in place of Paul Gascoigne and has been excellent in the midfield for Tottenham Hotspur, and that's Vinnie Samways.
Gascoigne back in contention for a place in the Spurs side for their Rumbelows replay against Chelsea on Wednesday night. You can see all the Rumbelows action, incidentally, in midweek sports special on ITV. Next Saturday, Spurs at home to Oxford in the FA Cup. So 2 important cup ties coming for them. A league win here will be just the boost in confidence they'll need for those 2 crucial games. Here's Allen. Samways, the man of the match. Fenwick. Thomas. Allen. As far as Spurs are concerned, if they can just keep the ball in Derby's half, they'll have done the job. There's about 30 seconds of normal time remaining and not too much stoppage time to be added. Walsh. Allen. Samways. Thomas. Good football. Stewart. Thomas again. Not only 1 goal here today, a lot of goals yesterday, of course, in the Barclays League First Division. You can see them all after the break. And our goal of the day competition as well. As time ticks away here for Derby County. Allen brought down by Pickering, and Pickering's going to be cautioned for that. Wouldn't have thought it was all that serious myself, Trevor.
Well, I hope it's just a yellow card. It'd be a sad ending to the game if it was a red card.
Yellow it is. Stewart's free kick. Mitchell Thomas wins it back for Spurs. The referee has looked at his watch. On my watch, we've had a minute of time being added. Shilton has to hurry, not just to catch that helicopter down to that dinner in London, but to keep the ball in play and keep it going forward, but it's too late. Derby have been beaten. A spirited effort by the home team in the second half, but Gary Lineker's first half goal has given Tottenham 3 points, and Derby County now goes 7 matches without a win and they've lost 5 of their last 6 games, and the problems continue here at the baseball ground. So lots more talk and action coming up when you rejoin us again right after the break.